Welcome to Plot Pioneer. Today, we're diving into one of the most intense spy thrillers ever made, The Bourne Ultimatum. If you're into relentless action, complex conspiracies, and a hero who just won't quit, then you're in for a treat. We begin with Jason Bourne, our protagonist, who's caught in a deadly game of cat and mouse. He's on the run, injured but determined to uncover the truth about his past. The movie wastes no time plunging us into the action, with Bourne navigating the cold, dark streets of Moscow, evading both the police and CIA operatives who are hot on his trail. He's a man with nothing to lose, and that makes him incredibly dangerous. Back in the United States, we're introduced to the CIA's high-level operatives who are determined to take Bourne down. Leading the charge is Noah Vosen, head of a Black Ops group within the CIA known as Operation Blackbriar, a more sinister and secretive successor to Treadstone, the program that created Bourne. Vosen views Bourne as a rogue asset who knows too much, making him a significant threat to national security. But not everyone in the agency agrees. Pamela Landy, a senior CIA official, is more interested in understanding Bourne's motives and possibly using him to expose the corruption within the agency. As Bourne moves from one location to another, Paris, London, Madrid, he starts to uncover fragments of his past. He learns more about Treadstone and the role he played in it, but the deeper he digs, the more dangerous his situation becomes. Each city presents a new set of challenges, and the film's pacing is relentless. Bourne is always on the move, always one step ahead of his pursuers. His skills as a former CIA operative are on full display as he uses every resource available to stay alive and continue his quest for answers. The tension reaches new heights as Bourne closes in on the people responsible for turning him into a weapon. The film masterfully builds up the suspense, with each encounter more intense than the last. Whether it's a high-speed chase through the streets of Tangier or a tense standoff in a crowded train station, Bourne is always in control, always thinking several steps ahead of his enemies. But this isn't just about survival for Bourne, it's about finding out who he really is and why he was chosen for Treadstone. The truth he seeks is buried deep within the CIA's darkest secrets, and the closer he gets, the more the agency is willing to do to stop him. What makes the Bourne Ultimatum stand out isn't just the action, it's the emotional journey Bourne goes through. He's not just a killing machine. He's a man haunted by his past, driven by a need to understand his own identity. The film explores the psychological toll that a life of violence and deception has taken on him, making Bourne a more complex and relatable character. Throughout the film, we see Bourne's interactions with people who once meant something to him, old allies, former lovers, and even some of the very agents sent to kill him. These moments add depth to the story, showing that Bourne isn't just fighting for survival, he's fighting for redemption. As Bourne's journey takes him to New York, he's getting closer to the answers he's been searching for. The city serves as the backdrop for the film's most intense sequences, with Bourne using his wits and combat skills to outmaneuver the CIA at every turn. But with the stakes higher than ever, the question remains, will Bourne finally uncover the truth? Or will the agency succeed in silencing him for good? In The Bourne Ultimatum, Bourne's tactical brilliance is put to the test as he engages in a deadly game of cat and mouse with the CIA. Every move he makes is calculated, every decision precise. The movie showcases Bourne's mastery in using his environment to his advantage. Whether it's a crowded train station in London or a rooftop chase across the buildings of Tangier, Bourne is always ahead of the game. In Tangier, we witness one of the film's most heart-pounding sequences, a high-stakes chase involving an assassin sent to eliminate Bourne. The scene is a testament to the film's expertly choreographed action. Bourne's resourcefulness shines as he uses everyday objects to outmaneuver his pursuer. The tension is palpable as he narrowly escapes one deadly situation after another, proving that no matter how many people are sent after him, Bourne will not be taken down easily. As Bourne continues his relentless pursuit of the truth, he begins to unravel a conspiracy that goes far deeper than he ever imagined. He uncovers evidence that not only was he manipulated and trained as a deadly operative, But the entire Treadstone project was part of a larger scheme to create a network of super assassins who could operate above the law. The revelations are staggering, and Bourne's resolve to bring those responsible to justice only grows stronger. But with every step he takes, the CIA is closing in, using every resource at their disposal to neutralize the threat he poses. The film expertly balances the high-octane action with the gradual unveiling of the conspiracy, keeping viewers on the edge of their seats. Bourne's journey isn't just a battle against the CIA, it's a deeply personal struggle. Throughout the film, we see flashes of his past life before Treadstone. These glimpses reveal a man who once had a normal life, hopes, and dreams, all of which were stripped away when he was recruited and transformed into a weapon. The emotional weight of Bourne's quest is felt in his interactions with people from his past, like Nikki Parsons, a former Treadstone operative who decides to help him. Nikki's decision to assist Bourne adds another layer of tension, as it puts her directly in the crosshairs of the CIA. Their relationship is complicated, built on a shared history that's shrouded in pain and betrayal. As they work together to uncover the truth, there's an unspoken bond between them, a connection that goes beyond their professional ties. Meanwhile, Noah Vosen, the ruthless head of Blackbriar, becomes increasingly desperate to eliminate Bourne. Vosen represents the very system that Bourne is fighting against, a system that operates without accountability, willing to do whatever it takes to maintain control. Vosen's determination to capture Bourne leads to some of the film's most intense moments. He's willing to cross any line, sacrifice anyone, to protect the secrets of Blackbriar. His cold, calculating nature contrasts sharply with Bourne's desperation to reclaim his humanity. This makes their eventual confrontation inevitable and highly anticipated by the audience. On the other side of the spectrum is Pamela Landy. Unlike Vosen, Landy is conflicted. She's a high-ranking CIA official who initially believes in the agency's mission, but as she uncovers more about Treadstone and Blackbriar, she begins to question everything. Her growing sympathy for Bourne and her desire to expose the corruption within the CIA adds a layer of moral complexity to the story. Landy's internal conflict plays out against the backdrop of the CIA's increasingly desperate attempts to silence Bourne. She becomes a key player in the unfolding drama, caught between her duty to the agency and her conscience. As the film progresses, it becomes clear that Landy's choices will have significant consequences, not just for Bourne, but for the future of the CIA itself. As we approach the final act, Bourne's plan begins to take shape. He's no longer just reacting to the threats around him, he's taking control, turning the tables on his enemies. The film's pacing quickens as Bourne gets closer to the heart of the conspiracy, with every scene building toward a climax that promises to be as explosive as it is revelatory. Bourne's journey through the streets of New York is a masterclass in tension and suspense. He uses everything he's learned from his years as a trained operative to stay one step ahead of the CIA. But it's not just about survival anymore. Bourne is determined to expose the truth, no matter the cost. The audience is left wondering, will Bourne finally get the answers he's been searching for? Or will the CIA succeed in silencing him once and for all? As Jason Bourne closes in on the truth, the pieces of the puzzle start to fall into place. He begins to unravel the layers of deception that have kept him in the dark for so long. His quest takes him to a pivotal location, the office of Dr. Albert Hirsch, a key figure in the Treadstone project. This encounter is one of the most intense and emotionally charged moments in the Bourne ultimatum. Dr. Hirsch is the man responsible for transforming David Webb into Jason Bourne, erasing his past, and turning him into a weapon. The confrontation between Bourne and Hirsch is more than just a battle of wits. It's a confrontation between Bourne's fractured identity and the person who shattered it. During this encounter, Bourne is hit with a flood of memories. He remembers the moment he chose to become Jason Bourne, the moment he willingly surrendered his identity to become a government assassin. This revelation is devastating. The audience feels the weight of Bourne's realization that he wasn't just a victim of the system, he was a participant, and that knowledge haunts him. The emotional impact of this revelation is profound. Bourne is forced to confront the darkest parts of himself, the parts that he had tried to bury deep within his psyche. The man who was once David Webb is now faced with the consequences of his actions as Jason Bourne. Armed with the truth, Bourne's mission shifts from uncovering his past to taking down the corrupt system that created him. The final act of the Bourne ultimatum is a masterclass in suspense, as Bourne outmaneuvers the CIA in a high-stakes game of cat and mouse through the streets of New York City. Bourne's resourcefulness is on full display as he leads the CIA on a wild chase. He's not just fighting for survival anymore, he's fighting for justice. The tension escalates as Bourne uses his extensive training and knowledge of the agency's tactics to stay one step ahead of his pursuers. Every move he makes is calculated, every decision precise, as he methodically dismantles the CIA's efforts to capture him. One of the standout moments in this sequence is Bourne's use of a stolen police car to evade his enemies. The chase is exhilarating, with Bourne expertly navigating the crowded streets, using the chaos of the city to his advantage. The cinematography and editing heighten the tension, making the audience feel every turn, every narrow escape. As the chase intensifies, we also see the culmination of Pamela Landy's arc. Throughout the film, Landy has been torn between her duty to the CIA and her growing realization of the agency's corruption. In a pivotal moment, Landy makes a bold decision that will have far-reaching consequences. She sends Bourne the classified documents that expose the full extent of the Blackbriar program. Landy's decision to help Bourne is a turning point in the film. It represents a moral stand against the unchecked power of the CIA and the illegal operations they've conducted in the name of national security. This act of defiance is risky, but it underscores Landy's commitment to doing what's right, even at the cost of her career. The interplay between Bourne and Landy adds a layer of complexity to the narrative. Their relationship is built on mutual respect and a shared desire to bring the truth to light. Landy's actions are crucial in helping Bourne achieve his goal, and her courage in the face of overwhelming odds is one of the film's most compelling elements. Noah Vosen, on the other hand, becomes increasingly desperate as Bourne gets closer to exposing Blackbriar. Vosen represents the ruthless, amoral side of the CIA, willing to go to any lengths to protect the agency's secrets. His cold, calculating nature contrasts sharply with Bourne's determination to reclaim his humanity. As Bourne inches closer to victory, Vosen's desperation becomes more palpable. He's willing to sacrifice anyone and anything to prevent Bourne from exposing the truth. The film masterfully builds tension as Vosen's plans begin to unravel, leading to a climactic confrontation that will determine the fate of everyone involved. Vosen's character serves as a powerful reminder of the dangers of unchecked power and the lengths to which those in authority will go to maintain control. His downfall is as much a part of the film's message as Bourne's quest for redemption, highlighting the consequences of living without accountability. The stage is set for the final confrontation. Bourne's journey has led him to this moment, where he must face the people who turned him into a weapon. The tension is at its peak as Bourne confronts Vosen and the remaining operatives of Blackbriar. While I won't delve into the specifics of the climax, I can say that this sequence is both thrilling and emotionally resonant. It's the culmination of everything Bourne has fought for: the truth, his identity, and the chance to reclaim his humanity. The film doesn't offer easy answers, but it provides a resolution that feels true to Bourne's journey. The climax also serves as a commentary on the nature of power and the costs of living a life of violence. Bourne's story is one of survival, but it's also a story of loss of the parts of himself he can never get back. The film leaves viewers with a sense of closure, but also with lingering questions about the moral complexities of the world Bourne inhabits.